All righty. All righty. Okay, let's go live. All righty. Okay. Oop. We're alive. My goodness. All right. Going live. All right, guys. We are definitely live now. Everything seems to be going okay. Hi, everyone. Oh, man. All right. How's everyone doing? I hope you're having a good day today on December 5th. If you're watching this live or as a recording, welcome to this live. And I want to ask you a question, moms. Are you feeling super busy this time of year? How's everyone doing? If you are feeling busy, please just write in the comment section, busy. What are you tired? How are you feeling? Are you tired? Do you want to rest, but you feel weird about resting? This is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to be talking about why so many people are tired this time of year, why it's okay to be tired, and why it's so important to rest. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. And I would love to see comments in the comment section if you have them. Hey, Cindy, welcome. So if you're feeling busy, just write busy. And what keeps you busy? What keeps you from resting this time of year? So look for that. Really, I spent not just this time of year, but a lot of my life being busy, constantly busy, going from one thing to another. And I was busy doing errands, projects, busy in relationships, whatever was going on in there. I was busy doing favors. I was busy fixing people, my kids included, busy pleasing others, going out of my way to help them, interrupting my own busy life to help other people. And I was very busy in my mind as well. And sometimes I still get there, busy with worry or analyzing or predicting what's going to happen in the future. Very little time being here now. It was very much like what happened in the past, what's going to happen in the future. And I really had a hard time understanding people who are not busy. There was a bit of a glorification of it. Good morning, Geneva. I had a hard time understanding people who are not busy. I kind of thought that they were not living their full life if they were not constantly thinking and doing all the time. In fact, I kind of thought it was irresponsible or lazy to not fill up your day with constant busyness. And part of that is because I came from a household where everyone was busy all the time. My parents were always busy. My mom raised 6 kids. My dad had a full-time business that he was running, and they all had lots of activities, and there were lots of us. So it was a constant movement, constantly doing stuff. And there was not a lot of resting going on. On occasion, my mom would read a book. I remember thinking that was interesting that she would do that. But most of the time she was busy doing stuff. And I think I took that on as a kid. Anyone can relate to this, please say so in the comments. Just like, yeah, me too. I've been there. Yes, constant busyness. Yes. It kind of became who I was. It became my identity to be a busy person. And there was a lot of, if you're not busy, what are you doing? How are you contributing? How are you helping society? And I realize that people even say that. They say, I'm busy. They say, I am busy, right? Like it's a thing versus my day is filled up with activities, or I am doing lots of things. It's I'm busy. And in fact, When I wasn't busy, I would become very restless. I didn't feel okay unless I was busy. So I was kind of caught on this treadmill of busyness. Yeah, very much never stopped. Keep going. Just keep going forward. Yeah. And what I found for myself, and you can tell me if this makes sense to you, that busy was a way of pushing away all of the anxiety and dread, um, depressive feelings, the blues. Keep yourself busy. Don't think, don't feel. It really was a way to push away thoughts of where I was going, why I was even doing anything in particular. And society's like that, right? I think of that slogan Dunkin' Donuts has, America runs on Dunkin', which is essentially saying America runs on sugar and caffeine, right? Why? Because we're busy all the time. We need sugar and caffeine to keep it going. So while being busy in itself is not a good or bad thing, if you always have to be busy, and if you're pushing yourself to be busy, even in times where the body naturally needs to slow down, if you're doing that, there's something else running the show. It's not that you're just busy. It's there's a reason you're busy. It could be you're pushing something down or away from yourself, something that's uncomfortable. Anyone feel that way? Distract yourself, afraid if I slow down, depression. Yes, absolutely. You guys are amazing that you're just being so vulnerable here. I love this. Yeah, just pushing it all down. Another thing that came up when I was thinking about this subject of being busy is that I would feel guilty if I wasn't busy. And I also was sort of not knowing who I was if I wasn't busy. Like, if I'm not busy, who will I be? That was a scary prospect of not knowing who you are. I think that's one of the mind's thing that we're always trying to focus on, who am I? And when we ask that question enough, it can feel anxiety provoking, because if you don't know who you are, then why are you here? What's going on? And when you can accept that you don't know who you are, that's so much easier. But when you're not accepting that, it brings up a lot of stuff. Does that make sense? 100%. Okay, great. We're all on the same wavelength here. Yeah. So a lot of my theory about the busyness for people, especially this time of year, is that it's a way to feel like you identify as something, to feel like you're contributing, to give yourself something positive to hang your hat on. Look at all the things I did. I was so busy, even if you're complaining about it. So the challenge of that is to allow yourself to slow down a little, because your body literally needs to slow down sometimes and take a rest. It's sort of like we have seasons for things, right? And in this season, as the north of the equator is in this winter, and the days are getting shorter and darker. If you haven't noticed, I've noticed it. It's just darker all day, really, where I live. And the sun sets much quicker. The days are shorter. The body feels that. You don't get as much sun, and the body goes into kind of rest mode, slowing down mode, So if we live in a busy society where your whole identity is busy, and then the environment around you is saying, you got to slow down. The body's saying, I need to slow down. If you don't honor that, we're much more likely to crash, get sick. Our body forces us to stop. We get cranky. Anyone get cranky when you're tired? Yes. Yes, Cindy. Yes. Overachievement, additional responsibilities. Yes. Pushing yourself to meet high expectations. Yeah. And then you're cranky. So the whole idea here is in this holiday season, it's a season where we are trying to come together. We're trying to have fun together. It's about enjoyment. So how do you want to go into that? Do you want to go into that with a sense of busyness and irritation and wanting to crash and be cranky? Or do you want to go into it with the intention of coming together and being together and love and, celebration? So the reason why I'm talking about this is if you can honor your body right now in this season, which is a season of shorter days, less sunlight, which calls on your body to rest more, you're going to enjoy the holidays more. But I know what comes up sometimes when we think, well, logically that makes sense, but I have presents to buy. I have events to go to. I have obligations to fill. I have recitals to go to, right? I have cards to write, whatever it is that comes up for you. I want you to think about how you can make it easier for yourself. Because there's a lot of things probably working against you right now. There's the societal holiday season, which seems to have a lot of demands on us that can make us cranky. And then there's just an overall sense of busyness that society has for us, right? And then on top of that is, if I stop doing this thing that I normally do, what will come up? What will change? So there's a lot of things going on at once. So let's handle them one at a time. So one thing is to realize that this busyness is really not serving me. So that's one level. And just talk about how it's not serving you. Write it down. Is it making you cranky? Are you tired? Do you really not want to go to that party? Maybe you do, but maybe you don't. Do you want that extra obligation? So I want you to write down how it's not serving you right now to be busy. And then I want you to write down the reasons why how being more rested and maybe less busy will serve you, because that's going to be your big why. And the reason you need a big why is to inspire you to keep going in the resting and not fall vulnerable to, well, you have to go to the event. You're not a good person if you don't go to the event, or you got to buy all the things, or you have to have 50,000 decorations up, whatever it is that keeps fueling the busyness. You got to have a why about why you're changing your behavior. And it's like, I don't want to get sick for Christmas. I want to feel well for Christmas. I want to be in a good mood for my kids or my grandkids. I want to have a simpler menu so I don't have to work so hard. Excuse me. Thank you. I want to be able to sleep well at night. I don't want to use this as a time to eat crappy food. So find your reason why you want to change this. What's the outcome you're looking for? It could be peace, connectedness, authenticity, relaxation, fun. So find your big why. And then I want you to look at your schedule, because this is what really can mess us up. Look at your schedule, and I want you to just be very honest about What's on there that you don't have to do? For instance, when I started looking at my schedule, there were some things that were just non-negotiable. I had to pick my kids up from school, right? Had to go to the doctor, right? Things like that. They're just non-negotiables. You're going to look at those and go, okay, those are the ones that are non-negotiable. But what's negotiable here? Do I have to sign up for decorating the gymnasium? Do I have to buy 1,500 gifts? Do I have to do 5 different events? Right? So it's about picking and choosing what activities or tasks or errands or whatever it is that you want to do or that are non-negotiable, they just have to get done and you cannot farm them out to someone else. And what can go off the schedule? So that's one thing you can do. So, just go through your schedule and be really honest. And you can be honest, like, I know I don't have to do that thing, but if I don't do it, the ladies are going to be talking about me. Okay. So then you have a choice there. It's like, do you really want to do it? Or you're doing it just to stay in good with the ladies? And if it's just to stay in good with the ladies, you can challenge yourself and say, what if I just respectfully decline this year? Or what if I said I only can stay for an hour? Then you can face the challenge of the risk of someone, not liking that. But that's part of having boundaries. And then you got to look at your big why again. It's scary to have that boundary. What if they don't like it? Well, but I want to be in a better mood for my kids. And that's more important to me. That's why that big why is really helpful, because it helps you make those decisions where normally you would just go with the old thing. It helps you to make bolder decisions about what really works for you. So does that make sense? Just put in the comments, yes, it totally makes sense, or explain that more in terms of scheduling and your big why. The next way you can get more rest is to look at what time you wake up and what time you go to sleep. Are you going to sleep at midnight or later? Be honest. What makes you stay up that? Thank you, Cindy, for saying that. What makes you stay up that late? What's your bedtime routine? Are you watching videos till midnight? Are you cleaning the house in the evening? It's really important to look at what you're doing as your body wants to rest. Is that when all of a sudden you have a burst of activity, or do you allow your body to go into rest mode? So looking at those habits at night, and then what time are you waking up in the morning? Are you waking up at the crack of dawn even though you're tired, or are you allowing yourself to rest in the morning? So it's really looking at your day, the beginning and the end, and then throughout the day. The other area where people get in real trouble and get really tired is that they don't allow themselves natural resting periods in the day. So that's where, when you've packed your schedule, you have no resting periods. Right, I understand that. Yeah, you had to work late to get stuff done. So that's when you have to look at what stuff you're trying to get done, how important is it, and can you put it in another part of your day? And what can you farm out to other people? That's the other thing. Do the kids help you? Can they help you? Can your mate help you? Can you hire someone to help you? Can you put it off to another time? Not maybe midnight. So are you giving yourself, I'm kind of jumping around here, but are you giving yourself rest time in the day? For instance, are you scheduling back-to-back meetings with no rest in between? Are you giving yourself a lunch break? Do you allow yourself restful activities like maybe taking a gentle walk or sitting for 5 minutes with your eyes closed or hugging a tree, whatever it is that is the most restful for you. So maybe it's not scrolling your phone, and I'm guilty of that too. I do that too. But maybe scrolling your phone when you could be closing your eyes is keeping your mind going, and it's not allowing the body to rest or the mind. Maybe it's listening to calm music as you're doing an activity. That's another way that you can really get a lot of rest, is listening to things that are soothing and calming, not always hip hop, 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 like up here with the energy or chaos, but just calming things. There's a million ways to do this. There's a million ways to get rest. This is only a few of them. Yes, Cindy, I love it. Time in the hot tub. This is a great time of year to do more hot tubbing, right? Being in nature, soaking in a hot tub, taking a gentle walk, meditation, stretching, doing yoga, sitting and with your back against a tree, crunching the fall leaves. My day goes incredibly differently when I'm not busy all the time, but if I'm in flow. So I have some times of activity, I have some times of rest, I have some times where my brain can just chill out, times where it's very active. So once again, it's a way of having balance and harmony in your day so that you are not so self-identified with being busy, and then you get burnt out and you get sick and you're cranky with your relatives around holiday time. And all of this is really self-care, self-love stuff. The whole glorification of busy is not a self-loving thing. It's really not. And you know that you're at your best when you're not running around like a maniac. I know I am, because if I'm running around like a maniac, I'm not really attending to anything. I'm not really having a good time. So go for the flow, not for the busy. And here's the other thing I just want to say before, thank you for these comments, but these are great comments. Yes. When you're in flow, you're actually present. You're actually enjoying life. You're actually in life. When you're super busy all the time, you're not really in life. You're just kind of skipping on the top. You're not in life. You're not experiencing life. You're experiencing the frenetic energy up here. Does that make sense? Yeah. And you just do better quality work. And all the things that you're worried about getting done will get done. When you're in flow, when you're in busy, you're just going to keep piling more stuff on there and you're never going to get it done. And then at the end of the day, you go, I was busy all day, but I didn't get anything done. It's not a fun thought to end your day with. But when you're in flow, things are higher quality, they're more effective. You realize stuff that you really don't need to get done, or that you can farm out to someone else, or you can put off to later. And sometimes it just gets resolved. That was one of the biggest things that I learned when I first started receiving coaching, was that my list of things to do will always be there, but the way I do them is the difference in the quality of my life. Do I want to do them in flow? Do I want to do them with presence? Do I want to do them in a place where I get to rest? Or do I want to be at a frenetic, breakneck pace that is unsustainable and makes me cranky? And I thought the breakneck pace was going to get everything done, but it really didn't do a very good job. When I was in flow, I did a much better job. So how's that sounding for everyone? Yes, I know. Yeah, you make yourself busy. Yes, absolutely. Awesome. You guys are getting it. Great comments. So let me know what was the best tip for you today. Was it the schedule? Was it just knowing that you need to rest? Was it the state in which you do things? Was it finding rest throughout your day? Just put that in the comments. And if you haven't already, join the Calm Mom Alliance Facebook group. It is an amazing group of women, moms, mom practitioners, all sorts of people doing all sorts of things, all serving moms. So the great thing about coming into the group is that you don't just hear my 2 cents. You hear the 2 cents of a lot of people who are experts in different areas that moms need in all areas of life: financial, health, emotional health, mental health, physical health. What else do we have? We have CPAs, we have mentors, we have people who work with performance and speaking, we have business people, all sorts of women helping moms in whatever way you need. So join the Calm Mom Alliance. And if you're already in the Calm Mom Alliance and you haven't gotten it already, get my free rapid stress reliever. It's right on my website. It's really just teaching some breathing techniques that are really helpful. And it's all free for you. And I just want to say that being a professional mom can be really hard. I am one, so I know that. It can suck sometimes, but also it can be one of the best adventures of your life. And life gets way, way better when you befriend yourself, when you get rest, when you believe in yourself, and you have a supportive community, and when you can laugh at what usually drives you crazy, when you can find the sense of humor in things, because you are worth it. And I want to say, here's to you. And if you don't know about it, tomorrow, I just want to give a shout out for tomorrow at noon Eastern. I'm doing a Funny Friday. And the Funny Friday is a 30-minute group in Zoom. You can find out in the Calm Mom Alliance. The event is there, where we get together and we talk about the funny things, crazy things that happened in our week. So in other words, we take whatever usually drives us crazy and we make it into a funny story or a joke. And everyone's got one. So I encourage you to come to that. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. If there's anything that you'd like me to talk about that would be helpful to you, please put them in the comments. I'll be reading them throughout the week. And I hope that you have a really restful, wonderful remainder of your week and weekend, and you implement some of these ways to get more rest so that you can be at your best for your family and yourself, and you can show up and smile and be present. All right, guys, this has been great. I will see you soon, and I will look at the rest of these comments. And thank you so much for coming today, and we'll talk soon. Bye.